In today's video, we're talking about an exercise called short foot. I'm really excited that this has been added to some of the menus in Pete Egoscue's new pain-free book. I really love this exercise. I really think that it's something that anyone who wears a shoe should be doing on a pretty regular basis. The other great thing about this exercise is that you don't need any equipment. As long as you can stand barefooted and keep your balance, you're good to go. You can use a yoga mat, you can do it on carpet, you can do it on hardwood floor, whatever works for you. All right, now let's get into the instructions. Now, first thing we want to do is stand with our feet pointing straight ahead. Now look carefully here. This is my feet straight ahead. See how these lines here are pointing straight ahead. Here, with my big toes pointing straight ahead, this is actually a slight duck foot or everted foot position. It's gonna feel weird, but we should, at least at first, but this is really a foot straight ahead position with my big toes angled inward just slightly. I'm gonna do that same thing here. Now, here's where things kind of differ. We are going to differ from how you may have been taught short foot before if you've ever done it. Keeping our toes spread as much as we can and maintaining, actively pulling up our arch in our foot. So we're not letting, even though we're spreading out our toes, we're not letting that arch flatten. First, we crimp that arch, then we spread out the toes. Now, you do this on each side, but I'm going to put one foot so that the back of my heel lines up with the front of my toes, and maintaining that crimp in the arch, I'm going to now lift up the toes and then push them back down, pressing into the ground. But notice what I'm not doing. While I'm pressing the ground, I'm not curling my toes to push the bottoms in. I'm trying to put the tips of the toes, trying to push the whole toe into the ground while maintaining that arch. It's gonna be a lot more difficult than it looks. You can have your knee bent slightly, but we don't want to be going into this type of thing. Just enough to keep it from locking out. Now, once we maintain that arch, we're gonna lift up slowly, go down slowly, and press into the floor. Lift up slowly, maintaining that spread in the feet, or spread in the toes, push down. This should be a very slow motion. It should be about 2 seconds up, 1, 2, 2 seconds down. If you start going too fast, you're going to eliminate the work you're doing, and it really just becomes a waste of time. Let's look at it from the front so you can see what it looks like here. So we have these toes spread out as far as I can. I'm going to take one step forward, let the knees bend. Now I know you can't see my upper body, but I'm just trying to keep my upper body with as neutral position as possible. My hips are pointing straight ahead still. I'm not taking such a big step that my hips rotate. My hips are straight ahead. My shoulders are above my hips and my head is in a natural position. Now I'm going to maintain that arch in both feet. Maintain the spread in all the toes. Lift up slowly, 1, 2, down slowly, 1, 2. And again, we're not curling the toes. We're just maintaining that arch, going up slow and down slow. And that really is all there is to it for short foot right there. So I hope you found this video informative and useful. I really love this short foot exercise. I think it's something that anyone who wears shoes should be doing on a pretty regular basis because it really retrains our feet how to be involved in the gait motion. You know, our shoes that keep our toes scrunched together and whatnot, it really changes how we load our foot and how functionally we're able to walk. And when you lose that ability of your toes to grip the ground as part of the gait function, you're going to see problems all the way up the kinetic chain into your head and neck, which is why in the pain-free book, this is included in the menu for cervical pain. Also, when you first start doing this exercise, you might notice a lot of difficulty and muscle fatigue in your hips, surprisingly, because we are really forcing the hips to respond in kind with what the toes are doing. And it affects this whole kinetic chain called the superficial back line that goes from the tips of our toes all the way up through our back of our legs, through the back of our spine, all the way to the fascia that goes over here and connects above our eyebrows. That is all one dissectable piece of myofascial tissue from that you can get out of a cadaver. I've seen pictures of it in books myself. If you like, Anatomy Trains is a great resource for learning about myofascial lines in the body.